Mr. Sanchez, Armando, if you will. Welcome him as well.
Thank you very much for Mina. Thank you for having me here, and all of you. Let me begin by asking you a few questions. Why are you here? You can write your ideas on your paper. Why are you here? Write them down, because I'm going to test your ideas a little bit. Why are you here? What is it you're looking at? Why are you here? Number 2, why are you there? There being, this is international protocol. So why are you there? You're outside of the United States. Why are you there? What are you doing there? What's your purpose for being there? What are you there to accomplish? Same question, I'm just sort of mixing it around. Where are you there? Where did you go? Why did you take all the trouble of going? Improving your business travel etiquette. There are 2 kinds of travels, for your own personal self and for business. I only talk about business today. Business. So I asked the question, why are you there? You're there to do business. Okay, let me ask you a new question. What kind of business?
You want to answer?
Now this is very critical. And this is the main discussion why we're here today. Each of those flags represents a different government, a different way of thinking, different money, different culture, different do's and don'ts, different views of women, different religions, on and on and on. Each one of those. And some are missing. And if the more you go to those, the more complicated the game becomes. It's not an easy game you're asking when you say international. So I have to go back and ask you again, why are you there? Why are you willing to go through all those? Because you will have to jump around. Even if you go to one of them, this one, you're going to have to meet people from these areas also there. So they bring their country with them, and you're in the middle of theirs. Very quick stats. In many places of the world now, they don't like people from the United States. So you've got to deal with that first and foremost. So you have to be ready to shop and go. Anywhere and everywhere. Do you see yourself in Shanghai? Shanghai. Very modern city. Probably far more modern than anywhere I've been. Why are you there? Why are you in Shanghai? Do you see yourself in Dubai? This area right here, they're going to build another building which will be taller than this building. And I've had the pleasure of being up here. It's awesome. Do you see yourself in? Now you do know that this is a tomb to his second wife, Taj Mahal. It's a tomb. We're going to go all the way in. See a tomb. Give me a break. You know? A tomb. Anyway. Do you see yourself in Argentina? You're a dancer. I forgot that, man. You're a dancer. You and Gilbert are a really great dancer. You see yourself there? Why are you there? Why are you going to these places? How many of you know why you're there? Raise your hand. Good. Okay. Well, Mina, being a runner for many, many years, having been an influence, this is what I see. Okay? A lot of business is done usually in 2 places. It's normally done in offices, or it's done over the dining area. I believe most of the business is done around food. Okay? So the protocol of being able to know how to handle yourself is probably, to me, 80%. So don't do this, guys. These are definitely no-nos, okay? Very simple. So do guys actually do this? Ladies, do guys do this? Yes, they do. Come on. You've seen it. I've seen it too. Really, dude? Guys don't do this. Who am I? We should know a little bit about me in order to know where I'm coming from and why I'm asking these questions. I've been very blessed. My wife and I have visited all 7 continents. I've completed 60 cruises or more. I continue to lecture on cruise ships. My topic is espionage during the Cold War and its global impact. And I get to meet a lot of fellow people on ships. Whenever I'm on a cruise ship, and I'll use that as an example, I'm the main person for the entire cruise because I'm probably the only speaker and one of the few people that everybody knows on the ship by the 3rd or 4th day. So I'm on cue all the time. No matter where I am, everybody knows who I am. And that says a lot for me, and this is a lot for the company that I represent, and I get into this a little bit more as I get into the speech. My background. I have had food in protocol places that required a lot of protocol. I've eaten with officers of the Pentagon, members of Congress, leaders of cartels, Colombian and Mexican, I have to say, so I have equal time. I've eaten with UN delegates, gun runners. Oh, she was interesting. Executive of Fortune 500 companies, Shell Oil, Nestle, Aerospace, NASA. I've eaten with captured US spies. I've been with the US Secret Service. And the 2 greatest sessions that I had in my life, and I have the privilege of being with him, Jose Luis, is Ambassador James Sweeney, which you cannot find anywhere. His story is outstanding. And I want to thank Alfonso Feria from JPL, who sat me between Mario Changuillas and Rodolfo Merivela. He's the astronaut from Mexico. So what I'm trying to establish here is I've had meals with a lot of people. And they all have taught me something. And this is what they have taught me. This is a boardroom. This is a place for business. Okay? And you have the power that when you have one of these chairs, you are representing either yourself or someone else with you. But I haven't answered the question, why are you there? What are you doing there? Why did somebody give you a seat in that table? That you can never forget. That you must be absolutely clear that you understand why you're there. Now, Mina is fantastic. She's helped me to maneuver through this obstacle course. 7% low. Is that my computer? Oh, that's the lap. So, Mina, in this particular excellent program, we sit down and we look at this and it says, oh my God, what do I do? Remember, this is not an eating table. This is a negotiating table. You're doing business over this area. And you have the power to influence that if you knock down your water, you're going to disturb everyone on the table on this side. It's just dropping water. You're going to throw everybody off. And whatever you do that you do wrong, you throw the conversation off. So I ask you again, why are you there? You have to know what is proper. And then you don't pick up things, you don't reach over, you don't do this, you don't do that. This is an obstacle course. So, this is the way I see this picture. This is Mina's version. She didn't give it to me, but this is the way she presents it. And here's the way I see it. It's full of sharks. If you make a mistake, you're going to get eaten. So let me go back a little, one more picture here, and I need you to spend a few seconds here, and I hope you can see it everywhere. There are 7 questions here. I want you to pick the question that you feel the best prepared, that if that topic comes up, you will be 100% prepared to really give a good answer to it. Is paying $1 million for a camel too much? Are you ready to answer that? Do you think, what did you think of the India and Pakistan cricket rivalry? Has women's rights gone too far? Is capitalism a successful economic doctrine or just some radical, godless religion? Should marijuana be legalized worldwide? Should Japan continue its whale hunting? And what is Brexit? Any of those that really you think, okay, I've got the one that I can really powerhouse here. I can really show them that I really know what the hell I'm thinking. All right, so we're back here. That's the way I see a dinner table. Every time I eat, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, if I'm having one person in front of me who has any potential of doing anything that has to do with my business, to me, it's an area of precaution. I am not on social time. This is the other one that I use in my mind. This is a landmine. This is in the Golden Heights. Okay? This is a landmine. When I'm walking around the ship, or it could be anywhere, I could be in Nepal when I'm in the hotel, and I know what I'm there for, and I'm seeing people from afar. I'm thinking every step. I'm walking around in a landmine area. I could turn around and do the wrong thing and blow everything away, even if I don't know who I'm dealing with, because I may find that person on the other side of the table that afternoon. That happened to me. I was in the middle of a negotiation. They were negotiating Afghanistan and China. We had been around each other for 2 days. I managed to make him laugh on the last day. It broke up everything else and everything went well. But it was difficult. This is another person you must remember every time you are in a business meeting. Okay? Sigmund Freud. You are being analyzed. It was mentioned about your style of dress. Let me take it to the next level. You're being psychoanalyzed. You're being watched, and we're trying to figure out what you're thinking. We're trying to find your weakness. We're trying to find your vulnerability. We're trying to find out where we can stumble you. We're trying to figure out where we can take advantage of you. It's called business. And you're doing the same thing to someone else. Everyone in that room is psychoanalyzing everyone. Sure, by your dress, by the way you hold things, by, do you move to your left, do you move your right, did you say thank you or not? Whatever you're doing, you're being psychoanalyzed. Remember that. How many times you pull on your hair, you're giving signals away. You're being analyzed, 100%, especially if you're in a high-level meeting. So, remember, this is what I see when you're in the dining table. Mina shows us this brilliant stuff. I don't fall for that. To me, it's a landmine. So you're being psychoanalyzed. Are you intellectual? Are you investigatory, scientific? Are you someone that is agreeable? Are you manageable? What kind of person are you? You're being analyzed. And and everyone at that table will make up their own minds, and they will compare and contrast notes. So, first thing they want to find out is, can you handle frustration? How viable do you? Do you easily bend in, or can you handle it? These conversations, the conversation pieces. How many of you found one question in here that you think you can really deal with? Raise your hand. Great, you're a disaster. Because you have no idea who you're talking to, what they think, what they believe. You know nothing about them. You don't make a stand on an issue that you don't know how they stand on the issue. So I tricked you. So I may ask you the question. It says, what do you think of the India-Pakistan cricket rivalry? My response was, what's cricket? I didn't answer the question. I wasn't going to fall for it. You know, I don't know if he's Indian or Pakistani. I don't have an idea. So I don't go in. I don't bite. So questions are not always questions. They're trying to lead you. You're being psychoanalyzed. So you're not an expert in anything. You ask questions. You don't say statements. You don't know who they are. So I sort of leaded you into it.
You didn't ask, are you an expert talking?
No, you classified yourself. You said, I know the answer. You did it on your own. Yeah, it's very common that people do that. Oh, I know a lot about that. No, I don't know anything about anything. I don't know who you are. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. I know the answer to that question. No, we don't. That's not the place to convince anybody. I ask again the question, why are you there? Are you there to convince them how much you know about cricket, Brexit, Wales? Why are you there? Who wants to answer the question? Not yet. Okay, we'll get there. That's the other one they're looking for in you. Are you someone that can easily be made angry and upset? Most people can. It doesn't take much. Somebody looks at you the wrong way. What the hell are you looking at? When people look at me, real thing, I said, man, they must be admiring me. Because that's the only attitude I want to keep carrying in my mind. Because you're being psychoanalyzed. That's what you don't want to do. Remember that one? Because that one's easy to do. Stick your foot in your mouth. It doesn't take much to do it. So you have to be extremely careful what you say, how you say it, what you say it, your tone of voice, and you have to be very prepared to apologize a lot. I'm sorry if I offended. Husbands would get a lot more time with their wives if they learned that word. I'm sorry. Perdóname. You have the power to be in a high-power, excellent meeting, but you also have the power to turn the meeting into something like this with your words and actions. You have the power to, especially for women, you know, women look at more things than men do. You know, they look at their custom jewelry, whether their ring, whether they, you know, their hair is good colored or not. And the thing is, you're building up more reasons to create more enemies. You're a liability rather than an asset. So you have to be careful with your own prejudices and your own perspective. You have to be aware that they're there and get rid of them, or put them in a dominant state. Whatever anybody else is doing is none of your business. That's the rule I work with. Because I'm working with people from all across the world, so I can't do that. Know your geography. Know your geography. Do you live in America or do you live in the United States? Answer? Both.
Nope, yeah.
But this is not America. The President of the United States says, this is America. Yes, I know. North, South, and Central America. Get your geography right. You know, when you say you're in China, you're in China. Do not say you're in China when you're in Hong Kong. You don't do that. They don't consider themselves Chinese. They're offended. I'm from Hong Kong. Don't ask me why. It doesn't matter to me. That's the way they see it. That's the way it is. Know your geography. There is a business professional attire for women. It's expected worldwide. This is a picture of self-confidence, not of style of dress. Because ultimately, that's what everyone's trying to figure you out. Your level of self-confidence. You came into a room, maybe how many of you have walked, we all have. We walk into a room and people say, oh, I went into this place. Oh yeah. Who did you meet? Oh, a lot of people. Who did you meet? Oh, I don't know. I didn't know any of them. What? You went into a room not knowing anyone? I said, yeah. Sure. It's self-confidence. You know, some people sit by themselves all the time at meetings. It's your responsibility to sit next to somebody and says, hi, how you doing? I'm Armando Sanchez. Without being asked to do it, you take it upon yourself. You're being evaluated for your self-confidence. If you're not a self-confident person, I don't want to do business with you. You travel the world. You make it a point to see things from many points of view. Their point of view is something you want to find out what it is. And sometimes you have to lend yourself into the customs. They ask you, would you be willing to? Absolutely. I think I look pretty cool as a samurai, but I'm not committing suicide anytime soon, so let's not go there. This is my wife. This happened in Singapore. Him and I were in meetings all the time, and he was sort of distant. And one of the things that I decided to do was to go Segway in a place that they have, and he was there, and we started talking to each other. Anyway, we learned how to use the Segway. This is what happened after we finished. We were great in business after that, But then we took this picture. We were hilarious. But this is what happens when you learn to create and adapt to people from there. What is the purpose of the meeting? Why are you there? You're there ultimately to exchange ideas with each other, to connect, to make somebody foreign not foreign. Because you're in a foreign place. Now the task is, can you break down all the barriers between you and them, which are not necessarily intentional, but they're there simply by growth? Can you transmit past them and get into a contact relationship with one another, where now you can shake hands and says, let's do business. Why are you there? And the answer is, to do business. What is business? To make money. Lots of it. And it depends on your character and what you're representing and what you're selling. And you're there to shake hands with foreigners that you've never met. They're not the foreigners. You're the foreigner. They're from there. They know what they are in. You're the one who doesn't. So you ask them to assist you as a way that now your weakness becomes your strength by asking them to help you understand and orient you through what they're familiar with. Make them your teachers. This is critical. How do you know if you were successful or not? It's not whether you did a business deal. You're successful because you get invited to come back again. If you don't get invited, you don't know why. But if you got invited back, hey, you know what? We'd like to have you around again. You did something right. People made a connection with you somehow. So we're back to this problem. This is an international world. This is a multi-trillion-dollar environment. If you're traveling outside of the United States, you're probably traveling to make money. It's called business internationally outside of the country of the United States. Most of the money now is circulating worldwide. So just being in your own backyard isn't good enough anymore. And there's a lot of new opportunities going around in the world. So your business is to take everything that is wonderfully being presented here by Denise and Justin and put it together, and that Mina continues to show us of all the obstacles and how to get past them so that we're able to travel around the world and do business, be successful, make money, and have one hell of a great time. Thank you very much. Why are you there? What's the answer?
To make us strangers, not strangers.
And
And to do business.
and do business. And do business. You may have to ride elephants. You may have to learn how to enjoy watching belly dancing. I try not to watch, but I watch it anyway. I've done a lot of strange things, but I didn't take it as a challenge. They weren't challenging me to do it. They were inviting me to do it to see if I could relate with them. And while we were doing it, we both figured out we didn't know what we were doing, and we just had a laugh. We cracked up, and we went back into the business table, and we sort of understood each other better. I'm sort of killing time here because Mina's supposed to take my mic off of me. But anyway, you're there to do business. You're there to be successful. You're there to be invited again. You're there to be liked. You're there because people want to work with you. They trust you. Your self-confidence comes across. They say, I can go up to you and talk to you, and I'm going to get a straight answer. This takes a lot of initiatives. And first and foremost, we have to be comfortable being outside of our skins. But we're not comfortable. I haven't done this before. I have not been on 2 elephants at the same time. But hey, you know what? The best time I had was going together with someone to see camel racing. That was nuttier than the best. And they pay $1 billion for a camel. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.